Okay. Good. Thumbs up, excellent. Welcome aboard the ship's ends. Introductions. My name is Brian. I'll be your first mate and your narrator for this hour at the wheel. Captain Tyler. We say hi, Tyler. There's someone back there. He's not just right up the road. So, we're both licensed captains from Canadian Coast Guard Transport Canada. As such, obliged to point out the safety features of the boat as we get underway. Life jackets located down on this level. Underneath the windows on either side, life rafts with big barrels you can see from back there are inflatable life rafts. We're going to leave all that stuff right where it is. It's a very, very safe trip. Nice day. Kind of a beautiful, kind of a cool summer's day, but we're going to cruise along the harbor front. Any questions as we go, please don't hesitate to ask. We will be making our scheduled island stop in roughly a half hour's time. At that point, if you're so inclined, you may hop off the boat. It's $1 landing fee paid on the island. We'll give you a reporting pass. Boats picking up every hour and 35 minutes past the hour up until 5:30 this evening, so you can spend as little as 1 hour on the island or the whole afternoon out there if you wish. And I'll go over that again as we get closer to our island stop. So we're going to head in this direction, which is west along our harbor front. We're going to see some old buildings here, some original structures. This harbor front once a very industrial place, lots of heavy and light industry operating here. That's no longer the case, as we'll see the absence of logging industries and factories. In the late 60s, early 70s, a conscious effort was put forth to clean up what had become a very polluted harbor as a result of that industry. This area actually we're going to be looking at for the next few minutes to your right. It's been deemed an urban national park, simply needs no more industry. Emphasis now cultural appeal, tourist activities, and residential properties. Big building here with the green glass in the bottom corner is called Queens Quay Terminal. Once a fresh fruit produce warehouse, amongst other things, where the ships would offload their cargo. Tried to rip that building down, took the wrecking ball 2 pounds off, tried dynamite, that did very little, very much an over-engineered building. Kind of stuck with it, so decided to renovate the inside and the out. It was, however, strong enough to add 4 stories of luxury garden-style condominiums to the top. Those are some of the more expensive condominiums you'll find, certainly down here in the harbour front, and in some cases in all of Toronto. You'll find units ranging anywhere from just under $1 million to $4 and $5 million on top. The power plant is brick structure with a smokestack, another original building designed to burn coal to provide electricity and generate electricity and provide it to many warehouses again that used to be here. But that certainly was polluting the harbour, not a nice thing to have downtown Toronto. So that was shut down, now converted to a contemporary art centre. To the left of that is Harbourfront Centre, York Quay Centre. It's an old custom truck repair shop converted to another artistic area, as well a little restaurant inside there, kind of known as the Harbourfront. Not too busy on Harbourfront today, but yesterday, for example, on the weekend in particular, lots of things going on here. You find all kinds of street vendors and street performers, lots of different flavors, if you will. Each and every weekend will feature a different sort of ethnic flavor down here in terms of art, music, culture, food. This open-air stage you see here, the Harbourfront Centre concert stage, where we have 3 concerts held throughout the summer months. All different styles of music, ranging from jazz to rock to pop, classical, jazz, poetry readings, dance recitals, film festivals, all kinds of stuff. About 90% of the events are free of charge, which is certainly a nice option. So on a summer's evening, you can head down here and check it out. It won't cost you anything. Behind it is an international marketplace featuring jewelry and clothing and arts and crafts and things from all over the world. Harbourfront is very indicative of Toronto in its multicultural terms. Toronto has been deemed by the United Nations as the most multicultural diverse city in the world. Over 100 different languages spoken here, and we certainly feature that flavors of those different ethnic flavors down here at Harbourfront quite often. Little bike bridge in the distance there, the Amsterdam Footbridge, shortcut across to Pier 4. Pier 4 restaurant's a great seafood restaurant. If you like seafood, looking for a spot for lunch after the tour, perhaps dinner later on. Pier 4 is quite good. That's another example of an original building. That's a finger shed warehouse. Only 2 of them remaining of about 18 that used to line these shorelines built as make work projects after the Second World War. Building here with Green Roof Metro Marine Police Unit looking after the boaters in Toronto's harbour as well out on Lake Ontario, and I'll explain the difference in those 2 geographical areas in just a few minutes. That is actually a boathouse and about 18 high-speed patrol boats that can respond to emergencies within this harbour in under 2 minutes, so you're in a very safe spot to be boating. They do work in conjunction with the United States Coast Guard as well as the Canadian Coast Guard. As we're going to make our way out to the Toronto Islands, we're going to get lots of views of that city skyline, particularly with the exit at the time. But one of the best vantage points on the other side of the harbor, you'll be able to get a full structural view of the building. The rest of the building's lined with that is a magic software that you also have the surface unique and taking place inside the rocky section. So we're setting into what's called the Blockhouse Bay, and this will take us deep into the Toronto Islands. So after we stop the Toronto Islands, I think we'll get the sense as we work our way through what a nice feature these islands are to have so close to large cities such as Toronto is the largest city in Canada. Population downtown of Twitter, quite 5 million people, and what's known as the GTA, the Greater Toronto area, over 4.7 million people and growing. So the islands are fairly separate from the city of Toronto, the mainland. Only means getting more often to by boat. There are tunnels and bridges that connect the two cities, so you can get very low. When the flags are here, that's one of the 3 ferry landings to the right side. It's called Hamilton Point. Another ferry dock in the middle of the center island, and one down the far end, which is called Boards Up. If you're wondering what these islands are all about, you need just beautiful park space, roughly 600 acres of usable park space. Fantastic way to escape the hustle and bustle of city life. 10-minute ferry ride, hop off the ferry. Very quickly feels like you're hours outside the city. That's a nice option not only for locals, but in the city, but also people visiting the city in the United States. And that 13-year period for liquor was legal in the States, not entirely illegal up here in Canada. So we certainly like to cater to the thirsty Americans. And John Hanlon, who the area is named after, John Hanlon, that this area is named after, had a very popular resort community. Hotel, lots of bars and saloons, of course, catering to thirsty Americans coming over, escaping the prohibition in the States and heading out here for the weekend to drink and be merry. A pair of white butte swans just on the right side of the boat. You see lots of these butte swans throughout the tour. You'll often see them in pairs. Butte swans make for life, so always see them too. So if you're lucky, you'll see some cygnets, some baby swans. Two families to match as well. Island. Greater Toronto area is an extremely popular spot for pleasure boating, given that the boating season is relatively short. Generally, people get their boats in the water around May. We'll haul them out of the water in early to late October, and the reason being, this freezes up solid. So our waters, particularly in these lagoons where it's quite shallow, not uncommon by mid-December or so to have 2 feet of ice in these channels. So that ice would damage the boats. They are hauled out and placed up on shore until the following spring. This is known as IYC, as you can see on the awning there. IYC very simply stands for Island Yacht Club, and that's exactly what it is, the Yacht Club on an island. They have sole use of Mugs Island, which they lease from the City of Toronto. All these islands, by the way, are owned and operated by the City of Toronto's Parks and Recreation Department. So if you're wondering what happens on the islands in the winter, the answer is not much due to the cold temperatures and, of course, frozen water. Access to the islands is very limited. We have one ice-breaking ferry that is required to service the islands. This is due to a residential section on the far end, which I'll tell you a bit about later in the tour. They do require a means of getting back and forth from the island to the city, and as I mentioned earlier, there are no fixed links, no tunnels or bridges, so we have to operate an ice-breaking ferry to somewhat infrequently get to and from the islands. But all the other attractions, point out as well as we go along, such as the bike rentals, there's some restaurants out here, amusement park, etc. They all shut down generally in October, and this is not a very busy area, as you might imagine, in the winter, although that is not the case in the summer, as this is kind of the place to be. The ferries, the public ferries that bring people out, the majority of the people out to the island, will report between 1.2 and 1.4 million people riding the ferries back and forth each and every year. That makes the island a very popular spot. Playground areas and that kind of thing. You might find that in this area to the right, as it is a bird wildlife sanctuary. So you'll find that the container holes are like vast areas for hanging out. This is just natural land that's been left alone. Parks Department, I believe, very good job a little bit of wildlife as well in this area. Fox and rabbit, muskrat, beaver, that kind of thing, small animals mostly. There's some coyote actually living out here as well, but it's over on the ice in the winter, and now all those are open. This channel water we're currently on is called Long Pond. You can see it's pretty long here. We use this as a road regatta course, and we can throughout the summer they'll create 4 to 6 lanes across this channel, and they can create a 1,000-meter rowing course. Chinese drag boats, swelling events, and do crazy. This small channel of water is going to lead us briefly back out onto the harbor. We're going to have a brief opportunity here to have a close view of cameras looking for a nice shot of Toronto skyline. This little area here is called Deep Pike Cut. Deep Pike Cut, a bit of an odd name, this is a very shallow portion actually of the islands. If you're wondering about the water depth, from anywhere from about 4 feet to 10 feet in these lagoons. As I mentioned, out on the harbor, much deeper, around 35 to 45 feet. But freshwater fishing is very good here actually. We have lots of bass and pike in particular. Walleye. Salmon is the most sought after fish in these areas, however it is sought after out on the lake where it's much, much deeper and colder than Salmon Lake with cold deep temperatures. Lake Ontario at its deepest point over 800 feet, or an average depth of about 322 feet, so although it is the smallest of the 5 Great Lakes, it's a huge volume of water due to its depth. The only lake bigger and deeper is Lake Superior. Our boats here on the right side. This differs from the yacht club we saw earlier in that it is a marina. This is a Toronto Island marina. If you're not sure the difference between a marina and a yacht club, the main difference, of course, is the money. It's the cost difference. So here you don't have exclusive membership, 5-star dining, tennis courts, swimming pools, that kind of stuff. But like you do with the yacht club, here you will have a spot in which to tie your boat. Mechanical service, nice pub and restaurant, more of the no-frills area for boaters, I guess, as opposed to luxury type features at the yacht clubs. If you just look to your right, you'll see some baby swans there just by the dock. And actually teenage swans at the moment. Step up their skills and then move on to larger boats, ultimately move on to that big yacht, I would assume. Another family of swans off on the river. This big building, if you're wondering, we're passing on the left is the Royal Canadian Yacht Club. This is the most exclusive and prestigious of yacht clubs, not only in the Toronto area, but actually in all of Canada. Also, as you get with high exclusivity is high prices. It's a very expensive place to be a member. Membership is by invitation only. Sort of the upper crust, I guess, of the sailing world here. But a beautiful, beautiful spot. They have 3 islands which they lease from the city of Toronto. Very lavish clubhouse and quite a large club. The boats span a little further than we can see. This is the junior sailing club on the left coming up, and of course the lasers and noppies. Prince Philip's one of the honorable commodores of this club, so they have been granted their royal charter by Queen Victoria many, many years ago, dubbing it the Royal Canadian Yacht Club. In fact, this yacht club predates the country of Canada. Canada's Confederation as a British colony. First birthed in 1867, this club founded in 1853, so it is in fact older and richer in tradition to a degree than the country of Canada itself. Entering into it is kind of the heart of the islands, or the epicenter of the attractions. You're going to see Centerville up here on the right side. Centerville is an amusement park that's operated out of the Toronto Islands for many, many years. It's really a Toronto tradition. Growing up in the city, always you must do several times during the summer is to hop on a ferry and head out to Centerville. Unlike the more lavish amusement parks you'll find these days, this amusement park you must be 4 feet under to qualify for most rides. Most other amusement parks must be a certain height to 4 feet to ride. This is the log flume ride here, water ride. They have upper roads just over to the right past the bridge. There are lots of things like that again here towards the minutes after the hour, every hour up until 5:35. 5:35 is the last boat. So the next boat will be 1:35, 2:35, 3:35, 4:35, and finally 5:35. If you miss that last boat at 5:35, our next pickup is 10:35 for one. Of course, we have other options for you. There are ferries. Please back in time, but the ferries operate free of charge if you were.
So the city started bulldozing everything out here. They cut this church in half and trucked it over here just in time. And they put it at this nice spot here. Such a nice spot, in fact, that it's very popular with weddings. If you wanted to get married at that, it's actually a music concert held by the Virgin Music Corporation. Has anybody been on the Maid of the Mist tour in Niagara Falls, by any chance? Yeah. For those of you who don't know, it's a boat ride that goes up to the biggest falls in the world, right at the base of them. It's a very exciting ride. I've been on it myself. I bring this up because the original Maid of the Mist boat is actually just on our right side here, the Esperanza 4. Nowadays, you use a very large ferry that can hold upwards of 100 people, where this boat used to just take 12 very crazy, brave passengers for that ride. That's how they got their start with that boat. It's actually a Russian Class 2 icebreaker. We put it on a barge from Russia and brought it over here. And, it's a Class 2 because it actually sends shockwaves for it, cracking ice, and rides on top, crushing down. So it's a lot. Now I mentioned, or somebody else might have mentioned that all the industries were kicked off the waterfront at the start of the tour. You're probably wondering where this factory is over here. That is the Red Pass Sugar Refining and Packaging Plant. It was allowed to stay because it actually claims to be 100% environmentally friendly. The refining process, basically how it works is they draw in dirty lake water, they boil into power turbines, and they filter it. So the water that comes back out is actually cleaner than it was going in. They even go as far as to saying that they're doing a service to the harbor here by cleaning up the water. Very slightly though, mind you. Actually, if you take a tour at the Red Pass Sugar Factory, which I know you all want to, it's very exciting. They'll actually tell you that the water that they spit back out into the harbor, it's warm because it's been boiled, it's clean because it's been filtered, and it's sweet because it's been in contact with sugar cane. But the water that they spit back out is actually, you could make the perfect cup of tea with it if you took a tea bag and a teacup under this jet of water spitting into the harbor, but I don't really suggest that personally. I just want to point out these brown towers here. These are condominiums. Some of the first built in the 70s. And back in the 70s, it's still very dirty to live here. It's kind of the wrong side of the tracks. It took over 5 years to sell out every unit there. When in comparison, these blue towers just to the left of them, they took 2 days to sell out before anything was built. It's quite the difference of real estate here on the waterfront in just 10 years. Now I just got one last question for you folks. Do you guys see that concrete ball to the, right there? Do you guys know what it is or want to guess what it does? Well, yeah, I'm kind of asking you guys to get ideas. I actually don't know what it is. It's a big concrete ball as far as I'm concerned. No, it's a piece of modern art. It's called the sundial. You can't tell time with it. It's just a piece of modern art. Enough said, right? Now we are coming back to our dock now. I just gotta ask you guys to remain seated until we're fully tied down to the back doors there. I'll be helping you out of the back hatch as well. And if you guys are interested, Toronto Tours has bus tours of Toronto as well as Niagara Falls. Speed passes to the CN Tower, which let you bypass the line, which is a good deal actually. The line can get up to 2 hours long sometimes. And on behalf of myself and Captain Dan and Toronto Tours, just want to thank you guys for coming out with us today. You guys have been a great audience, and enjoy the rest of your day here in Toronto. Thank you.